This is a 12-month follow-up to show the residual effects of forestry mulching. So on the previous videos, this is the same area that was all grown over with everything in here was probably 4 to 7 feet high of just weeds and sumac trees and lots of briars. That got up to about 6 or 7 feet high. There was about a 50 by 70, 50 by 50 or 50 by 70 area right in the center that was trees, and some of the trees were up to 7-inch diameters. So I'm out on my land today. I've got a little Saturday project to take care of. I've got about an acre of ground here that is pretty grown over. Some of this hasn't been cleaned out for about 3 years. And there's a patch of trees in here that are 20 to 40 feet high. They've probably been there for 15 or 20 years. So today I'm going to clean that up. I got a 3-sided patch of ground here with the tree line on this side. That's a corner. Goes along the back side. This patch of trees in here is about, I don't know, 50 by 100 feet square. And I'm going to run the Bobcat over it today with the Forestry Mulcher, clean it up. Here's the other tree line, goes down that way, and there's a corner. So I'm going to clean this up today. All this stuff is about, it's pretty, very extremely dense, full of thorn bushes. These are sumac trees. It's pretty much a pretty good mess. But here's what I'm looking inside this patch of trees. Lots of vines. Some bigger trees. Most of the stuff in here is 2, 3, 4 inches. Some of the bigger trees are up about 6 or 8 inches. But Bobcat will take care of this, no problem. Again, it's about an acre of this, so for this machine it's going to be pretty much mowing the grass. Okay, so this is where we originally started. Here's the marker. All that brush was there. The larger tree stand was right in here, where you can see. And we'll go in and take a look at what's left over in the material. Again, this area was where those 25 to 40 foot trees were growing, and when I was in there I saw that they were poplars and there was a few locusts. This is the kind of material that's left over. It's not mulch that you would put in your garden, but more like a shreddings, and this is pretty typical. What you would do with this, what I plan to do is plant some pasture grass over top of this. This is not too bad as far as how much mulch is layered on here, but I'll come through with a bucket and just scrape this off. This is where it was more just like higher weeds, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 foot weeds. So this is what I'd like it to look like. It's not very covered with any kind of mulch. You can see the soil, and that's what I'm looking for. A lot of these wood shreds where the wood was thrown from where the trees were growing. This is pretty typical of what a finished forestry mulcher looks like. So it's currently October. I'm located in Middle Tennessee in Clarksville, so that's the temperature zone we're in. Things are kind of getting dormant now for the fall. Originally, when I cut this down, it was last October. I let the mulch and everything sit on the ground all through the winter. And in May, all I did to it was I fertilized it and just broad seeded Kentucky 31 grass seed. And then it grew up over the summer. It got about maybe 3 feet high, 4 feet high of grass and some weeds. And I bush hogged it once over the last 12 months. So as you can see, all the grasses have come in nice. It's got a nice thick cover. This was the area that I'm standing in now that there was some where the largest trees in the stand were. As you can see, right in here, just kick some of this around. It's just soil. You don't see any evidence of any kind of mulch. Here's a bare dirt area, and this area was covered. Again, when I finished, with maybe 3 to 5 inches of mulch because of the density of the trees that were here. But all of that stuff has just decayed back into the soil. Here's some bare areas of just dirt. As you can see, you can still see some of my lime sitting on the soil. But it took to the seed pretty well. Got pretty good coverage. Happy with it. There's no real evidence of any type of mulch, large or small, really, that I could notice. So going from a grown-up pasture that was out of control, it was kind of regenerating itself back into a forest. It was too big to cut. The majority of it was too big to cut. This was about 3/4 of an acre. It was too big to cut with a bush hog. But so the forestry mulcher did a great job on it. And again, I did this was all grown over last October. Mulched it, let it sit over the winter, fertilized, seeded, let it grow up over the summer. I cut it once, just to, well, because I want it to look good, and to get a little tillage in there. And all the mulch appears to have been completely decayed into the soil, which is all great for the soil. I didn't have to do any disking or any other kind of mechanical preparation of this. So that's it. That's what a forestry mulcher will do for you, and kind of the timelines that you can look at. If you do things in the fall, you're normally good. Nothing will start growing again until springtime. Here in Tennessee, it's about May. And as far as maintenance cuts, this is my property, so I've just cut this once this year, which was fine. I had a lot of other projects going on, finishing off these upper fields. So But again, that's the 12-month residual effects of forestry mulching. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. If you have some better ideas, I'd be happy to hear them. I'm not a farmer. I'm just a landowner, just starting out at this, doing my best. But I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you found anything in this enlightening for you. Thanks.